I got called a man in Miami. Let's talk about why you guys hate tall women. Let's go. All right, perfect. So today we're going to be talking about why y'all hate tall women. Now, I know a lot of you are going to ask, what's a tall woman? So a tall woman is anybody over 5'9" and a half, 5'9" to 5'9" and a half and taller. That makes up 14% of the population in America, with the average height for women being 5'4". Now we got all the math out the way. Let's talk about the story time. I'm going to be splitting this into 3 separate sections. We're going to be talking about the story time, issues, and common enemies of tall women. So we're going to start with the story time. I have too many, so I had to bring it down to my top 4. So coming in at number 4, we have when I went to a party, everyone roasted my feet. So I know some people might sit there and be like, that's like not even a big thing, you should get over it. I was like, you gotta understand, I wear a size 11. And then with Chuck Taylors on, it makes it even worse. So size 11, that's why I still own them to this day. But size 11 plus Chuck Taylors, like it looks long or whatever, but like you gotta understand, like they're attached to my body. Like what am I supposed to do? And I know that some people might sit there and say like, oh, it's just teasing. I'm like, no, it's not. Just imagine you go to a party and people, literally everybody's like, every person I walk by had something to say, either with their eyes or their mouth. Next story time. I had a previous work experience that was hilarious. So I had a coworker who she's 5 foot nothing. And I remember I think it was like picture day for the company. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to put some heels on tomorrow, look a little spruced it up or whatever. And she was like, no, don't wear heels tomorrow. Yes, she talks very slow. Don't wear heels tomorrow because then you're going to be taller than me. And I was like, oh, okay. You're right. I'm not going to wear heels tomorrow. I wore stilettos in the club. Who gonna get crushed? You know that song. But I wore my stilettos. I wore my 6-inch Steve Madden heels the very next day. And I walked right by her desk. I was like, good morning. I had my hat on because we're going to a deep dive today. I was like, good morning. So I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page about how the fact that one thing is you don't tell anybody what they should or should not wear. Like I said, just, life hack. If they are not paying your bills, you do not owe them an explanation. Not 1, not 2, not 3, nor the 4. You don't owe them an explanation. So I've had that experience before. And then the basketball comments are just various, it's just the fact that they feel like if you're tall, you have to do something with it. Like my main issue about that is the fact that like you can do this. I know it's a little crazy out there, but you can. If somebody walks by and they're different from you, you can shut up. Oh, wait, shh. I'm doing it now. You can shut up. You don't have to sit there and try to figure out because you're in the majority. The majority of people are under 5'6", so they feel like they have to talk or say something about our height. Another story was being called a man in Miami. So I was there for a party and I had on my heels. They're like 5-inch heels, so I'm 5'10", so I'm like over 6'3" at this point. And I'm standing in line and this short person looks up, which I'm just like, please don't hurt your neck. We know you're not used to looking up that high. A short person looked up and she said, is that a man? I was just like, no. And she just kind of turned around. She's like, oh, well, you look really nice. I was just like, no. And she's like, oh, well, you look really nice. I was just like, thank you. I'm a man because I'm tall. So being tall is masculine. Let me make sure I got this right. Being tall is masculine. So you got to understand, as a woman, as a black woman, to have another point on the fact that I'm not feminine, like it literally, like that's why I said, I was like, when people sit there and say, oh my God, your confidence is through the roof, I was like, when you've had adversity, like I've had adversity and been called every name under the book, every gender under the book, you definitely gain like a certain level of confidence that other people will never ever understand or comprehend because they're not under that scrutiny every day. So we have some examples that y'all have all of a sudden fake love for. All of a sudden y'all have fake love for Ciara when y'all called her a man. I was in 7th grade, 6th grade defending Ciara. I was like, me and Ciara are the same height. We are both women. And I was defending her. I'm over here in 6th, 7th grade defending her. Who's another person y'all all of a sudden have fake love for? Lizzo, y'all have fake love for. Serena Williams. I sat there and watched y'all call her masculine. I sat there and watched y'all and listened to y'all call her masculine, call her ugly, call her every name out the book but the woman she is. And of course we have the final is Meg Thee Stallion, who I can definitely say for sure she was already already known, but it's the fact that people have been calling her a man as well. Like, you don't understand how defeminizing it is to be called out your gender. And my thing that pisses me off is the fact that, like, if me being a tall person makes me masculine, what does that mean for short men? What are you saying about them? Because I feel like they should be up in arms as well too. Because at the end of the day, people literally have to say something to you. I promise you. And it has nothing to do with how I look like. No matter where I go, I know someone has a comment on my height. They have to say it. It's like word vomit. And I just want them to swallow it. So we're going to go into the issues, and then we're going to address the common enemies. So the number one issue that I get irritated about is proportions. I can't tell you, and some fellow tall women, they're also guilty of doing this too, but I can't tell you the countless amount of times where people have made fun of my proportions. My arm is going to be long because my body is long. Dab, let me stop. But I was like, my arms are going to be long. Listen to me. My arms are going to be long because my body is going to be long. Guess what else is going to be long? Not my patience. Because every time I see I'm walking somewhere, it's like, oh my God, your feet are so big. I was like, and neither is your brain. You see how I have these quick comebacks ready because I'm used to hearing it. If you see a tall woman, she's going to most likely have tall limbs, long legs, long feet. But yet those same proportions can be on a man, and y'all don't say anything to him. I've literally, like, it's to the point where it's just, I'm so glad the next generation is not going to have to deal with this, because we're addressing it and we're deading it right now. My issue is the fact that growing up, you got to understand, I've been 5'10" since I was 14. So it's been a very long journey for me to get to accepting my proportions. This is something I literally cannot control. I'm tall just like my 6'7" grandfather. Just like my 6'7" grandfather, I'm tall. Get over it. Next part I had was the deniers. Oh, I think they're worse. I think the deniers are worse. Here is the 5'7" brigade of men and women who come up and like, you're not even that tall. It's like the average height for an American woman is 5'4" and a half. It's Monday, I'll be nice. So it's Monday when I filmed it, I'll be nice. Anything above that is above average. It's like there's like a brigade that they're bent on anything that's special or different about you. They're bent on taking it away from you. And I'm just like, this is something I couldn't decide. And if I would decide, I would actually be 6 feet if I wanted to, if I had a choice. Like, this is not something I could decide. Like, it's like, oh, you're not even that tall. I was like, why are we battling about what? This is not a battle of height. This is not for a discussion. At the end of the day, the numbers are already there. And then this is the main part. And this is the main part that really is frustrating to me, is the irrational anger. Irrational anger and jealousy that comes from being tall. I think that part really threw me off, because I don't know what I did. Like, I've seen it where, and this is me not even dressed up, so don't even be saying this because how you look like or whatever. It's the aesthetics of you. I have gone, like, I've had friends, I've had people tell me, girl, what did you do to that person? I was like, I have no idea. All I did was walk in, breathe in oxygen, transfer it to carbon dioxide. Like, I was like, all I did. I was like, that's all I did was do. I was like, that's all I did was do respiration. I've done nothing to this person. They literally cannot despise me. I've had it where I walk in and it's literally like, excuse me, what did I do? And I know it's from the height because they look right at my heels. They look right at my heels. Like, I don't know where the irrational jealousy as well. Like, you think you are that because you're tall. I'm trying to get my breakfast. Like, I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything. Now, we're going to go into common enemies of tall people. I wrote a list, okay? Common enemies of tall people. Actually, this list includes everybody. Everybody is an enemy of a tall woman. Because I don't know, once again, I don't know what we did, but everybody's an enemy of a tall person. Coming in, I'm going to do from worst to worstest. I'm going to go in with short women. Short women are enemies of tall people. Now, mind you, that doesn't mean like all my short friends, you're excommunicated. I was like, all my friends are shorter than me, so I like y'all. Y'all cool. But I'm saying short women in general. Like, I'm literally at Miami, like I told you earlier. She looks up and calls me a man. And not knowing her, I can hear you down there. I can hear you. I was like, no, I'm not. She's like, oh, you look nice. You look nice. I was like, girl, I'm not going to step on you. Like, you don't gotta apologize. I'm glad you're coming out with that, so I know not to further engage with you for the night. Standing in the middle, like standing in the line at a club, and you sit there and look at somebody and say, is that a man? Do I look like a man? Was it the small shoulders or the dainty face? Or was it the slim wrist? What part of me screamed masculine to you? What part of me screamed masculine to you? Like, I still don't understand that. But I think it's the other caveat is that I do feel like some short women do feel intimidated by tall women because we naturally grab attention. It's not for what you think. We could be mediocre looking busted. We're a bigger target. Easier for us to get dress code. Easier for people to notice us. Easier to notice if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. People can see us more. You get what I'm trying to say? But you gotta understand, like, that competition that women have against each other, who can be the best. You can't compete with a tall woman. It will never happen. And it's not like an egotistical thing. I'm telling you, if you are dressed to the nines and you're 5'4", and a woman walks in and she's 6 feet, she's naturally going to grab attention. It's a bigger target. It has nothing to do with like ego, but I know nowadays y'all want to be lied to, so yeah, whatever. Anyways, the next people that don't like us are tall men. What? Oh yeah, that's right. Because tall men do not see us as partners. They see us as peers. Like, they don't see us as, to them, they see us as, they see us as a homegirl. They don't see us as peers because they have this irrational, they have this irrational fear that we might take away their personality. Because you know, some tall men, their personality is being a tall man. So they're afraid that we might take their personality away. I'm so sorry about that. Get past that. But I can definitely say for sure there's some tall men that they do not like tall women, or when tall women wear heels because they think they're tall. And then I come in with my heels and I'm also 6'3" with you. And they're just like, well, I don't really like you like that. Wasn't an inquisition. Wasn't asking. This isn't a review. It's not a review. Okay. And then we're going to go on the number one people who hate the number one people who hate tall women, but also are obsessed with them, are short men. I am not going to argue with this with you. I'm just going to tell you the truth of what I've seen. Short men do not like tall women, but they are also obsessed with them. Okay, I'm just going to let that seasoning sit a little bit. Once again, short men do not like tall women, but they are obsessed with us. All right. So what I mean by that is the fact that they have this love-hate void with us where they'll ask us out and we say yes because they're charming or they're really attractive. Hey, let's just face it. And then after you date them, they start getting a complex about you. You can't wear heels anymore. Oh, you think you're all that because you're taller than me. Oh, I don't need your help with reaching that on top of the fridge. You know, I'm just talking about in general. I'm not talking about my own personal experience. That's none of your business. Okay, I don't have enough subscribers to invite you to my personal life. That's $1 million, by the way. That's how much it's going to cost. But my issue is the fact that we didn't do anything to y'all. Like, I've literally had it where I'm standing in an elevator and I've seen guys like try to stand on their tippy toes next to me. I'm just like, what are you doing, baby? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. I don't see you as less than a man. Like, I've seen plenty of men who are like 5'6", 5'7", and they've been able to command attention. I don't see you as less than a man. I don't know why you're doing this, but I've seen it left and right where they're like rocking back and forth on their heels to try to make themselves look taller. And I'm just like, you're fine there. You're perfectly fine. It's not an issue. Like, you're just like, you're perfectly fine. It's not an issue. There's no problem. Okay. You're perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong. You don't have to do this, but they go out of their way. Like most of my bullies that I had from middle school upwards were always short men and short women. Tall men, they just kind of just, I don't know if it was worse. They didn't just, we're just kind of invisible to them. It's just kind of like, I only want a girl who's a foot shorter than me anyway, so I'm not pressed by you. But those are my main bullies growing up, was definitely short men and short women. Short women because they feel like, oh, I think I'm all that. I think I'm a model or blah, blah. And then the short men who hated us for reminding them of their height. And I'm just like, me personally, like I said, we gotta stop. Like my solution is that we gotta stop commenting on people's appearance, especially when they're in the minority, because I think there's definitely like a brigade of short people who are just like, well, we're majority, we're gonna say something. It's synonymous when people like to tell skinny people, you need to eat, or you don't got a woman's body yet, or you haven't filled out yet, or you need to do this and other. It's like, but yet if the other thing, if we an advertisement, if we said something or we spoke up, my channel would be taken down immediately taken down. Not even though I couldn't even go to court, get seen by a public counsel, immediately taken down. So let's do this solution. My solution, I'm not here to rant to you all day. My solution is that we stop talking about other people's appearance. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. Like I know that's real hard because everybody wants their voice heard. Maybe we don't need to hear your voice, okay? But if you have any experiences about being a tall woman, definitely don't forget to subscribe, share below, and it's Claire here. Bye.